episode 9.
One more till 10. We're so close.
Yes, we're getting through.
We're slowly climbing. This year is the year of our podcast, and we're just going to keep growing and going.
Yeah, growing and going. I like that. So what are we going to talk about today? We're just going to kind of...
I think we got a lot of random stuff. We'll spill a little bit of tea. We're going to talk about, some topics that are, going on right now.
Current events.
Yeah, some current event stuff, and then kind of bring up, having friends that are married and have kids versus, not being at that part of your life before us.
Yay! All right, so why don't we get started with spilling the tea?
We love a good spill.
Because Heather's got a little tea spill. She wants to ask your opinions about something.
Yes, I always have to have someone give me an opinion on things.
Yes.
So this is something from a couple years ago. I know it's not super, caught up currently, but
Still relevant.
It's still relevant, but it was just a weird moment that I had. At the time, I was like, man, this is just annoying. I remember being with Bree, and the people that I was sitting next to, I just had to get up, and Bree was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I can't be near these people anymore. They're just very much annoying me. And it was these two guys and this girl, and they were just sitting on the couch next to me. And one of the guys was dating the girl, but I thought it was the other guy dating her because they were sitting so much closer. And we were all getting ready to go out, and, they got ready, they came, and they were supposed to go out with us. And then the last one goes, I think we're going to go home. And everyone's like, oh, we thought you're going out with us? And they're like, no, we're going home. And I was like, oh, I guess they're too lame to, hang out with us. And then the couple started to, argue with each other. The guy was,
in front of everyone.
In front of everyone. And the guy's like, you spend more time with, my guy friend, which he called his boyfriend. He's like, you're spending more time with my boyfriend than my girlfriend is my girlfriend. You spend time with me. And he just kept going on and on and on. And, the conversation was going nowhere. And the guy was like, no, well, it is what it is. And the boyfriend was like, this is so, annoying, the fact that you're just always hanging out with him. So it seemed like they were having some personal relationship issues there. And they were just kind of spewing it out to people around. I'm just like, I gotta remove myself. I gotta get up. I can't be near this anymore.
Yeah.
It was too much for me.
So what is the question here? Is it, should couples argue in front of groups of people? Or
honestly, should couples really be arguing in front of a group of friends, or should you have gotten up and taken it outside? Remove yourself from the situation.
Yeah, I feel I think we've all been there where it's this is so awkward. Even if you're friends with a couple, you didn't know these people, I'm guessing, very well. So it's but when you know them too, it's so super awkward. But I'm always I got nothing to do with it.
Please leave me out of it.
Yeah, leave me out of it. But yeah, it's always an awkward moment when couples start arguing in front of groups of people. But it's kind of funny too.
It is. And it would have been a little bit different if maybe I knew them a little bit more. Because I only met them one time prior to this. So it's if I would have known you a little bit better, it might not have been super awkward. But I'm just a random person at this point sitting there next to you, and you guys are just going, back and forth. I'm just like, why is this happening?
And then also, you mentioned, the girlfriend being closer to her guy's bestie than, he was complaining about that outward. So, I personally, I feel like I've gotten to know your boyfriend very well. I love him. But, there is just things that are and aren't appropriate.
She was sitting so much closer to the friend than her actual boyfriend. Her and the friend were snuggled up on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And the boyfriend's just, off to the side.
Awkward.
I was like, this is weird.
Listen, I know in, past experiences, sometimes when that stuff's going on, I don't know these people. So, I don't know. I just know that in my past, there's been things going on, or, people get angry or jealous of things. It's a lot.
Maybe a little bit cheating here and there.
Maybe. I know it's not it's never happened before.
Nope.
So, interesting. So, what do you guys think, when couples argue in front of you? And have any of you ever had an experience where, your significant other is closer to one of your friends than you?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Does it make you feel weird? Are you ew?
Jealous. Angry.
Anger.
You don't know.
Away.
Literally.
Annoyed. Because I was annoyed.
From an outsider perspective.
From an outsider's perspective, I was annoyed, and I had to get up. I was like, you're are you okay? What's wrong? I said, I can't be near these people anymore. They're annoying me at this point.
Gosh, that's crazy.
So So over it.
Over it.
So there's my tea for the week. Do you have any tea to be spilling?
So I don't have any personal tea, but I do have tea from a viewer.
Oh.
So basically, we have a viewer who said that their ex-boyfriend, has texted them after they've been broken up for over 3 months.
Oh, goodness.
And has said that he is now reaching out and asking her if it was just like the timing that was wrong, and basically kind of trying to get more closure on the situation. But when she broke up with him, she gave him every single point as to why this wasn't going to work, and it had nothing to do with timing. She's basically saying that it had to do with differences in beliefs that they didn't align on.
Yeah.
So, what do we think about this?
I think she should text this person back and say, please lose my number and go away. Because the fact that this man hasn't even realized at this point that she sent all of this stuff saying, like, A, B, C, like, this isn't working, this is why, this is why, this is why. Like, he's already been given a whole list of reasons why. Get over it, man. Like, it's over. It's over. Move on.
Move on. I know. She's
else.
saying that they had difference in political beliefs, differences in what they wanted in their future with children-wise, which we're also going to get into today, so I thought like, this was perfect.
Yes.
So, like, they had differences in how many children they wanted, if they wanted children at all. Like, he was more on the traditional value side of, like, wanting a stay-at-home wife, wanting 5 kids. And she's more like, I want to have my own money, I want to do my own thing. And I'm not even sure at this point if I want kids. So, like, it's not going to work. And they did not agree politically either on their political spectrum of ideals.
I don't see it being anything of, like, a timing issue. This isn't a timing issue. They could meet, like, 10 years down the road.
It's still going to be the same.
And it's still going to be the same.
It definitely has nothing to do with the timing for them.
No, there is no timing. And like you said, this man seems very traditional, which is a big thing that's apparently going on TikTok right now.
Right, the trad wives.
And for those of you that don't know what trad wives are, I have like a little clip that I'll play for the audio for you to get like a description from someone that is a trad wife on TikTok, just so you can kind of hear how they explain it.
Familiar with the term trad wife? It is a woman who chooses to live a more traditional life with ultra-traditional gender roles. So the man goes outside the house, works, provides for the family. The woman stays home, and she's the homemaker. She takes care of the home and the children if there are any.
So, that's completely fine. If that's what you both want, I think that's fine. Not my style.
Yeah.
Not what I want to be doing.
Well, and from all the TikToks that I've kind of seen about it, there's been other podcasts like going in and talking about it. So, like, some podcasts are saying that men are starting to fantasize over this. They almost want this traditional lifestyle to go back to how things were in the 1920s and the 1930s. It's giving time travel.
Yeah.
Which, like, don't get me wrong, there's some days that I would love to sit at home and just be the homemaker, you know, cook little dinner, take care of the little kiddos,
yeah.
You know.
I think if you're a nurturing person, of course, that's what we want.
Sounds good, you know, like some days it sounds very enjoying, you know, to have to sit at home and not really have to go out and do things, even though you are, you know, cleaning the house.
Yeah, there's a labor there. It's unpaid labor. They call it the pink tax. It means work that women have been doing that they don't get paid for. Like, you're still doing work and labor.
Yeah, and, you know, the men just go out and...
Oh, wait, the pink tax is, like, tampons being expensive and pink razors being more expensive. There's another word for it, but...
Just creating your own terms now.
It's all in the same. Women do labor at home. They take care, they nurture, and they don't get paid for it.
And it's, for some men, yeah, that's what they really want. They're like, ooh, I want myself a trad wife. Like, and the girls on TikTok,
if they want to do it, they want to do it.
I saw one TikTok that about drove me nuts of this girl, and she's like, I asked my kids what they wanted for breakfast, and they said, or for lunch or whatever, and they said they wanted grilled cheese. This woman goes, all right, let's make the bread. She starts making her own bread for this.
I think this is satire. I've seen this lady.
I think it's not real, but then she's like, all right, let's make the cheese. And then she hand makes cheese. And then she's like, now let's make the butter. And she hand makes butter, bread, and cheese.
Not her churning the butter.
She's churning the butter and she's kneading the bread and she's squeezing the cheese or whatever it is. And you know.
Squeezing the cheese.
The comments are wild because they're like, okay, lady, this is like 7 hours of you making all this for your kids to eat. Like, my kids would have been like, never mind, I'm not hungry no more.
Yeah, I think I think it's satire. I hope it's satire. But yeah, it's just going to explain that, like, some of that's unreachable for a lot of couples. There's all different factors in people's lives where they have to work. Not one income can always fulfill a home. Luckily, great for you if you can do that, and if you want to be a stay-at-home wife, do it. I think all women should have the right to choose with what they want to do with their lives, but I do think it is funny that it's like coming up as like a trend now, and there's a term for it, trad wives.
The trends are, it's just so nuts because like, Dusty was talking with me the other day, and he was saying like he saw something online where it said for you to live comfortably alone, like you need to be making at least $70,000 or more a year to like afford your own home and stuff. And for most people, that's not a realistic pay. You know, not a lot of people can make that much money. And if you can own your own home. Like
even with a college degree.
Yes, even with a college degree.
Or two.
Or three. You know, like that's fantastic. Like I would love to be at that part in life, but you know, we're not. And I have a really close friend who they're working on creating a family and having kids. And, you know, she wants to be a stay-at-home wife, so her and her husband are looking in ways to where, like, they could pay off some of her stuff, you know, car loans, student loans, all of that to make it possible for her to stay at home during her child's younger years. Not that she doesn't enjoy working, she would just love to have that part of life where she can be a part of a stay-at-home mom in the child's younger years of life.
Yeah.
And that's her decision, you know, if they can make it work, and I think they can, she's going to be a great stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today, too. It all kind of ties together between our viewer who's going through this with her ex who's texting her and, you know, asking her if it's about timing, and really it's not. It's about ideological values and what they want in their life and their future, mixed with trad wives, mixed with being in your late 20s and having friends who are starting families and wanting to do that, and then you have friends like us who are me single, you in a new relationship, and like you're on such different paths.
Yeah, and my favorite part about this viewer's message is that this man is texting her on his birthday, like just hoping that he'll get something out of her. Being like, BT does, it's my birthday. But I just want to trauma dump all this on you, saying like, maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe we were meant to be. Maybe we weren't. Like, can you please just explain? It's like, honey, she's been there and done that. You should go back to the messages and reread.
That's what I would say. How about you reread my breakup text?
Or just copy and paste it back in and then like, here, just in case you're confused about what we talked about last time.
Oh man, I do get needing closure too. Like, I'll be devil's advocate, but like, at the end of the day, it's time to move on.
You've been given the closure. The person can only say it so many times.
Yeah, and like we just said, if you don't have the same ideological values or what you want for the future or how you want your home set up, those are all things that are really important to talk about if you're an adult relationship, not when you're like a teenager, but like you should have conversations like that. Like, what kind of future do you see? How many kids do you want? What are our finances like? Do you have any debt? How many kids could we actually afford? Yeah. What kind of life do you want to give those kids too? Because that's different. Like, if you want one kid who you can take on cruises and be involved in all the sports and hobbies, maybe you can only afford one kid, but maybe you can afford two kids who do like each have one hobby.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a difference. So you've got to talk about that stuff in the very beginning.
And there's definitely a way to compromise on some of those things. You know, like you could have one idea and say like, oh my gosh, I want 4 kids. And then after talking with the person, you know, saying like, let's compromise to 2, you know, I think where our lifestyle is right now and our finances and all that, I think we can afford 2. And, you know, maybe in a couple years, if we're doing great, we can go ahead and have a 3rd kid. You know, those are things that you should always be talking about as a couple, because you don't want to get blindsided ever. Like this viewer, I definitely feel like she was blindsided to a point before he started spiraling out and started saying all of these things.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh,
this is not the life that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely think it's just important to talk about it. And if your values don't align, it's probably not going to work out. It, like we said, has nothing to do with timing.
And you never want to get to the point where you're getting engaged. You get married, and then you end up in a divorce.
And you feel so, you're so sad, and or like you're not living the life that you want, and you're living the life that he wanted. Or if you're the girl in the relationship and he's
It's now time for your ASMR ad break. This episode of Too Delulu is brought to you by Awkward Essentials. Awkward Essentials is bringing women's crotch care to the mainstream. Head over to their website, awkwardessentials.com, to browse through their amazing hygienic products, like the Drip Stick, the world's first after-sex cleanup sponge, the mainstream so you can easily use a public restroom without having to sit on the seat, and their first timer kit. At checkout, use code Too Delulu to save 15% off at Awkward Essentials. Again, that's code TOODELULU at checkout to save 15% off at Awkward Essentials.
I would love to hear from like a trad wife and see like how they love their life, or see if they were kind of like sucked into it and maybe like now they're having second thoughts. Like, how many of these women go in thinking this is a great idea, I don't have to work, I can sit at home on my butt all day, and then after it gets going,
or
they're like
not on their butt all the time,
not on their butt all the time, you know, like working hard, but thinking that like I get time to relax myself, and then realizing, oh crap, I really don't get time to relax because my husband's expectations are this, and this when he comes
And then
home.
when you get a divorce, if you get a divorce, and then you have nothing to your name.
Yeah, you're leaving with nothing. You have to start.
Not all states do alimony, like where you can get that check every month, and some men won't pay child support. Like, there's all kinds of factors here. I don't think anything is black and white when it comes to this. No. So speaking of like relationships and kids and ideology, I can't say that word. Ideologies.
Does that sound right?
I don't know. Anyway, values. We'll say values.
Values. and the whole like trad wife thing, like being a traditional wife, being a non-traditional wife. I think this plays into the good like next topic that I wanted to like kind of cover is talking about being in relationships, being in new relationships, being single, being married with kids, like all those different types of relationships, because those are all different people, and I don't want to say groups of like people that are at different stages of life. And we all have friends, you know, that are in different stages. You know, obviously you're not all on the same stage, you know, because you're single. I'm in a happily single. I'm in a new relationship. You know, it hasn't been that long, and you know, we
have married friends.
Yes.
Friends who are starting families.
So crazy to think
the differences.
The differences. So like one of my best friends is already thinking about having her second kid. And, like, I'm not even married yet.
We don't even own houses.
I don't even own a house.
Like, I think sometimes you can have moments of being self-conscious about that, or maybe feeling down. Like, am I not far enough along? Like, I'm 27. Like, my mom had me at 26. Like, she had a home by the time I was 7 years old. She was a homeowner, so that would have been, like, in her mid-30s. I guess some people have homes already that we're friends with. Like, am I behind? Like, is something wrong with me? But then I'm like, no, I'm really happy with so many aspects of my life right now. I don't always feel like that, but I have had moments where I do.
It does feel behind in a sense because, you know, like, you grow up with them. Like, these are people that I've known since high school, maybe early college. And, you know, you think of having that lifelong friendship together and, like, having kids as together and, you know, wanting your kids to grow up with their kids. And
that, like, fantasy age. Of, like, our kids might get married one day or they'll be best friends.
Yeah, like, just having that whole aspect of having your kids grow up being the same age together, being around, and seeing that she's already had one kid and he'll be a year this year.
At this point, when we have kids, our kids could babysit ours.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. But, I mean, I have another good friend, and we went through a similar situation last year, beginning to mid of last year, where like she broke up with her boyfriend of a long time, and I broke up with my boyfriend of a long time, and we kind of had to start over. And now she has someone new. I have a great new relationship. You know, like we're both at that stage of starting over and trying it again, and you know, waiting for the engagement. You know, hoping to get married within like the next couple of years, and then start having kids. But I think about my friend who has this kid, and by the time that I have one kid, her kid will be 4. But luckily she'll have the other one, and then maybe another one at that point. So then we'll be on the same kind of page. And, you know, her sister's trying for kids now too. And it's like, maybe by the time that she gets pregnant, I'll be pregnant at the same time. We can be pregnant buddies.
Oh, God, this is a little Delulu, if you ask me.
You know, some people just wish to be pregnant buddies.
That is cute. I actually, when I was in my serious relationship and actually thinking about it more, I actually called one of my best friends, Laura, and I was like, it would be so cool if we did this together, because then you don't have to do it alone, like, not drinking, and, like, you can do the shopping together and everything. I do get, like, having a buddy to do it with. I think that's sweet. And I've seen on TikTok, of course, our only source of anything, I saw, like, this friend group that, you know, it was, like, showing their transformation of being pregnant together and then their babies hanging out together, and I thought that was cute.
Yes, and, you know, I mean, I think we all have friends that are a couple years apart anyway, so even if, you know, she's already had her first kid and that kid may be like 3, 4, 5 by the time that I have a child. Hopefully, you know, they'll still be close enough in age to where they could be friends and grow up, and, you know, maybe he could be the role model for the rest of our kids. And, you know, I think timing will match up to where we're all kind of having kids at the general same time, and maybe we will get lucky and we'll be pregnant at the same time, have babies at the same time, and they'll be in the same age, in the same grade, and they'll go to the same school, and they'll get that whole lifestyle and tell all their friends, like, yeah, my parents have been friends with each other since they were kids, because that's how Dusty is. His parents have friends that he grew up with their kids.
Yeah, I do too. One of my best friends, his mom has known me since he knew my mom before she was pregnant. They're all still friends. We spent Christmases together, and we're still best friends. I was at his wedding. Like, it's just, I do love that. And if you want it, if you wish it, I really believe in, like, manifestation and things coming true. So, like, you just saying that you want that, I hope that you get that.
I hope we all get it. I'm hoping you're pregnant at the same time that I'm pregnant.
Oh, whoa. I don't even know if I want kids. I know that I would make a beautiful baby girl. The thing is this might be messed up, but I kind of only want girls, and so I might have to go the adoption route or something like that where I can have little girls, because I imagine myself being a girl mom, and I know that might sound messed up or people might not like it. That's just my opinion. I want little girls. I want to be if I'm a mom, I want girls, and I want to be like a dance mom and a pageant mom, and I just want to be a cheer mom and, like, all those things and do all the girly fun things. And obviously your kid could grow up and be like, I'm a tomboy or whatever, and I would be totally open with that and okay, but I just want little girls, and I don't know, I mean, I would love any kid that I had, but I am so far from that right now. Like,
you would definitely be a
I'm
great
so
girl
far.
mom. Well,
Thank you.
And we have talked about, you know, like, having our houses across the street from each other, and Bree's always like, I'll be your babysitter.
Yeah,
you know, like,
I'll be an auntie any day. I'm not sure if I really want to go through pregnancy and all of that, but that's just, like, my personal thing. Like, even with my roommate now, I even say, like, I'll live with you anywhere. Like, I think being close to your friends is important. Like, at the end of the day, it's about wanting to be close with your friends, the kids being friends, being in close proximity to people is important, because there's, like, studies on, like, values of life going up when you're in close proximity to your friends, and I love that.
And it's definitely, you know, even though we're at different stages, it does kind of give you the, like, oh my gosh, am I behind feeling sometimes, but then you just kind of have to get over it.
Yeah, like, what are ways that you cope with that? Like, if anyone out there is struggling with, like, feeling behind in life, like, what are ways that you cope with, getting over that or moving on or being happy with where you are on your path right now?
At first, when I went back to being newly single, I was like, man, I'm turning 28 this year. You know, I'm getting close to that 30 age, and a lot of people are always like, oh, I want to be married by the time that I'm 30 or 31 and start having my kids before I'm 35. And, you know, like, being able to be in such a happy relationship that I am in now, just having that happiness and that consistency makes me feel good about where I'm at, because I have the perfect man who's doing everything in his power for me. Like, we love our relationship. We love being together. He definitely takes time out of his day to be with me, and, you know, he just gets so excited to hang out with me and see me. And I don't know, I told my best friend when we went to dinner, I was like, yeah, he makes me, you know, lunch sometimes in the morning, and it's so nice. And she goes, man, I wish my husband did that.
Look, you got a trad huzz.
I got a trad huzz. I got a trad huzz. This man would stay home if he could.
And the thing is, with me, like, I do the same things. I think taking time to remember what you're grateful for in your life can really center you back to being like, I have all these things going on for me that I'm grateful for, and just practicing gratitude can help, and knowing that we're all on our own paths. Like, everyone's paths are different, and what's supposed to happen will for you. And like I said, if you really want something and you keep putting it out in the universe, hopefully you get it.
Yeah, well, and having that supportive friend group is great too. You know, like, I could always go to her, like, her sister or whatever, and have conversations with them, and they're really good at talking to you about, you know, like, it's okay, like, you don't have to be right where I am, and, you know, like, I'll support you every step of the way.
There's always somebody who has something that you want. Like, even them, like, as having a husband and a kid and a house that they own, there's still something that they're reaching for too.
Yeah.
There's always somebody, you know, who's ahead of you in
Always.
some way. So it's just like a cycle, and, like, you have to just face the fact that we're not all going to be on the same page. And even when you mentioned, like, you had to start over, basically, like, you were in a 4-year-long relationship that ended, and, like, you had to kind of start over. Some people could get married, and then by the time their kids are 18, 19, get divorced and have to start over. We're just not at that stage of life yet. You know, like, we don't even know what our 30s and 40s will bring.
No, and I'm too close to it at this point.
To even worry about it.
I'm too close to worry about it.
I know.
But, you know, me and, like, my best friend and her sister, we had older moms. So, you know, like, my mom didn't have me till she was 38.
Yeah.
So your mom had you at
26.
26.
That's a big difference.
It's a big difference. Different stages of life. And I'm sure my mom was not expecting a kid.
My mom wasn't either.
I think we're all happy little accidents at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you've got some great pop culture that you're going to have to preference me on because I'm not caught up with this one. And then I've got something for you that I know you're not caught up on.
Yeah, so basically I want to talk about Miss Wendy Williams. Now, there is some controversy to this because basically Lifetime just released a 4-part documentary called Where is Wendy? Wendy Williams. And it's really, really hard to watch. It is very intense. You are seeing the struggles of her addiction with alcohol. You are seeing the struggles with her health issues. She has lymphedema where her feet swell up really bad. It's hard for her to walk. It's hard to look at. It visually looks like it hurts. She also has Graves' disease, so her eyes, that's like a thyroid issue where her eyes are kind of bulging out. And she's lost a lot of weight, and her show was canceled. I mean, first off, everyone, I think, should watch it just to see the inside, but then there's also the argument that were they exploiting her by putting this out? Because it is stuff that if she was in her right mind, would Wendy want the world to see this? Now, she did sign and agree to it, but was she in the right mind when she did? Is she suffering with dementia? You know, it's apparent she's suffering with addiction. She's talked about it before in the past. I love Miss Wendy. I've watched pretty much all of her documentaries. I loved her talk show. I think that she is a controversial person. She is polarizing. Some people are saying that she deserves the hate or, you know, the things that she's going through because she's put negative energy out into the universe. I don't agree with that. But, like, I do kind of see the exploitation argument because is it okay for her to be seen like this? But what I think is that the family is involved in this documentary. And I think that the family wanted this to be public to show how messed up her guardianship is because Wells Fargo, the bank, basically took all of her money on a freeze and gave it over to the hands of a guardian so she couldn't control her money. Which is the same thing that Britney Spears went through. Yeah. It's just called a guardianship in New York, and it's a conservatorship out in California. So it's basically the same thing that Britney went through, and her family wanted the world to see, like, this is what she's been struggling with. Our family should be in charge of her money. We love her. We care for her. We don't care about her getting publicity. At this point, we just want her to be better, be healthy, and survive. She has a 21-year-old son. I mean, that's younger than us, and he's watching his mom basically perish in front of him. It's horrible to watch. And you also see these, like, bad creatures that are in her life that are these yes people who are saying yes to all this stuff that she should not be doing right now just so they can make money off of her. It's really, really hard to watch. And I don't know. I mean, there is a level of exploitation there. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, you have mentioned a little bit of this to me. Like, we haven't gone into a long, like, detailed talk about the whole thing. And I know you loved watching her growing up and all that, and, like, you loved her talk show. And I guess, like, the people that think she deserves this, they're like, oh, maybe this is her karma coming around to get her after all these years of her talk show talking bad about all these people. And they're like, oh, she deserves all this. But it's like, no one deserves to go through that. And I think having, you know, your family control your money, especially if you make such a large amount of money, and especially if she is experiencing dementia, you know, like, having a family member control that would definitely be beneficial for you in a way. But, I mean, I think, I haven't watched the documentary, so it seems like I need to watch it. But this does seem very awful that these people are kind of exploiting her. And maybe, yes, it was a good thing to have the story come out, but also maybe, no, not the whole world needs to know what's going on in her life.
Like, there's a point in the documentary where she takes her wig off, and, like, she's a black woman who always wears wigs, and, like, you can see that she's, like, balding a little bit. Like, I just feel like she would not want people to see her like that.
No, because, like, she's supposed to be that face, like a happy face, like she's a happy person, and you see her one way on TV, and that's the way how we want to see her. You never want to see her down bad and like
it's
looking
hard.
not the way that she wants to.
Yeah, and being drunk on screen, and I mean, and she's also lashing out at people because it seems like in one scene she was kind of sundowning, which is like during dementia towards the end of the day where you kind of really are intensely losing it. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know the direct term of that, like the definition, but like you can see her basically having a sundown moment where like she's just losing it and doesn't know where she is and doesn't remember where she's at and keeps asking for the same things over and over. Like you can see that there's a struggle here, something's wrong. And I mean, I just love Wendy at this point, kind of because some of the things that she has said have become memes. Like I love when she goes, death to all of them. Like I'm not taking it seriously. Like some people think when she said that it was so awful, but like there's just so many funny Wendy moments. She does like the like she makes funny noise on TV. She's farted on TV. Like she's just so funny to me, and I just hate to see her like that. And I'm just interested in like what other people think about it, because I thought it was a hard watch as someone who likes her, and I also just feel like there is a bit of exploitation there, but I think it also is something that can help make change for her family.
Yeah.
Like if her son really wants control of her funds so he can make sure that she's healthy and has access to that money that she worked so hard to make, like what's wrong with that? Even her sister, who's an older person, you know, was like, I totally told the courts that I would be her guardian, and they denied her that. And now that after it's come out, people have been digging on this guardian that she has, and apparently there's some bad behavior going on with that too, where this guardian might not be the best person suitable for this anyway. So why not give it to a family member than some random person?
Yeah. Isn't that what, like, kind of Brittany experienced? Like, the guardianship for her was her dad.
Yes, so
right?
hers was her family, but he was the bad person.
So, like, he
was
using her money without her knowing and, like, taking things from her. So, seeing, like, Wendy Williams getting ready to go through all this, too, I'm hoping whoever her guardian is and hoping that, like, her son or her sister can kind of hopefully clear the air and get through it and take over. I hope they have good intentions with it to not just take all of her money.
Right, and I think that's why they have, like, a court-appointed guardian, so that stuff doesn't happen. So someone in your family who is just greedy and wants the money takes it, so they give you this random person. But I don't know, y'all. It's crazy to watch. And
I'm sure she's going to give all of that money to her son when she
that's what she says that in the documentary. She wants him to have all of it.
And he deserves it.
Yeah.
She is so funny, and she is real. She is so real on TV, and I think that's what bothers some people, is she is just her authentic self on TV as a host. And, you know, like, other hosts, like Ellen DeGeneres, she's very, like, fake sometimes.
Yeah, people hated on Ellen, too. She had that whole thing go on.
Where she's fake sometimes. She can be a bully. Like, she says certain things to, like, get conversations out of her guests and all that. So it's, like, it's hard to hear people be real in life, but, you know, if they're willing to, like, come on and talk about it, then you have to be open because you're putting it out there for people to hear.
Yeah, and if you're putting something out in public, you got to be able to take the opinions of the public, and I think Wendy really can. She knows. She's like, I know I said this. I know I have haters. Like, it's whatever. So
she's like, I've said it. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but if you don't like me, you don't have to watch me.
Yeah, I love it. I love her, and I'm just sad she's going through all this, and I hope she gets better. So since the documentary came out, we haven't heard from Wendy. Like, she's apparently in some rehab facility that her family doesn't even know where she is. They don't even know the location.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really weird, but she's apparently getting better, and she's better than she has been, at least towards the end of the documentary. So I hope she comes out, you know, within a few months or a year and just, you know, is better.
Yeah.
And can come out and be like, this is what I think about the documentary. A, I think it was exploitive, or B, I don't think it was, and this is why, and now I'm better, and I have my family as my guardian instead of a random person.
Yeah, I'm hoping the outcome for her is so much better than what the outcome Britney Spears had.
Yeah. Did you read Britney's book?
I did not read her book.
I listened to it on Audible in literally 2 days. It is so good.
But I know she's had a rough life, and that's a whole other thing on TikTok where, like, she was doing all those weird dancing videos. And people were
It's time for another ad break. Thank you to our new sponsor, Mrs. Kisses. Mrs. Kisses is an innovative game changer in the world of bras. Imagine having a bra that's frontless, backless, and strapless, designed by a woman, for women, or just people with boobs. Mrs. Kisses is revolutionizing how we think about support and style, giving you freedom to wear what you want without compromise. And the best part, other than how amazing your cleavage can look, our Too Delulu listeners can get an exclusive deal.
When you visit Mrs. Kisses and pick up any of their amazing kits and accessories, you can get 10% off. Just use our code TOODELULU at checkout. Think about the new possibilities. Oh, and just a little heads up, the only item that's not included in this offer is the Kelly kit. And that's for an incredible reason. Mrs. Kisses donates 15% of their sale from every Kelly kit to Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Talk about a purchase you can feel good about. So whether you're stepping out in a daring dress or styling that sleek tube top, Mrs. Kisses has got you covered. It's comfort, support, and style all in one without the hassle of traditional bras. Don't forget to use our special code TOODELULU to save 10% off your Mrs. Kisses purchase. Let's support this incredible women-owned business and revolutionize our wardrobe at the same time. Check them out, guys.
Oh yeah.
I really want you to watch it so you can understand how crazy this is.
I know. I'm gonna have to add it to my list of things to watch.
Did you ever watch the Risa Tisa?
No.
Did you watch any of the TikToks I sent you on it?
Yes.
Okay.
I did. I went to go watch the first episode of her.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing where it's like 45 parts
You were
long.
like, I
I
can't.
got like a minute into it and I said, no. Bree's giving me everything that I need. I'm not going to be able to sit through this and listen to this woman go through this whole story. So at least she gave me the overview.
Yes.
of it.
Well, now you're going to put me on because I don't know anything about what you're about to talk about.
Okay, so I don't know if any of you have been hearing anything about this, but Dusty put this onto me. He was like, you all should talk about Kate Middleton. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, Kate Middleton. So she's married to, which prince is that one? William?
I have no
think
idea.
it's Prince William that she's married to. And I think they have like 1, 2, maybe 3 kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to do a little bit of
Yeah, here,
background.
I'll look it up real quick while you
Yeah,
talk.
we'll do a little bit of background research on this while I go over this. But apparently she's been missing for like 3 months now.
How have I not heard of this?
She's missing.
I've literally not heard one thing about this. I need to get on TikTok and investigate.
Yeah, you need to do some investigating. So apparently Kate Middleton hasn't been seen in the past couple months.
She's married to Prince William
William.
of Wales.
Okay, so I got it right. Look,
Yes.
Prince William. I'm on the right track. for
Yes.
once. So she's been missing for a couple months. No one has heard anything from her, and she's relatively big in the media. Like she's
She's
up to date.
royalty.
Yeah, she's royalty. So like, there's always constant things coming about her and Prince William's doing things together, going outings with the
Yeah,
kids.
there was the whole documentary with Meghan Markle and her,
Yeah.
the brother, and how there was drama there.
Yeah, so she's been missing now, and people are starting to like think of ways of like why she's missing. Like, where did she go? Some people are thinking that Prince William killed her, like murdered her.
What the heck? No way.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, people are going as far as thinking that he's murdered her. They've covered up her death. They're not saying anything about it. Some people are saying she just went out and got a BBL.
And she's recovering.
She's recovering for a couple months.
That's probably more likely, or she's going through something horrible and just doesn't want to be seen by the media right now.
So I don't know where she is, but you know, a lot of times people that are high up in the media, even with paparazzi come around, they can at least catch a picture of her, like going in and out of places at least. So it doesn't even seem that she's left the place that they're living at, the castle.
Yeah, she's probably just hanging out in there.
She doesn't need to go anywhere. Everybody's in there. She's got everything that she needs.
Where is she?
Where is this
Where
woman?
is Kate?
We need Kate. Kate needs to come
Do
back.
we need her?
Do we need, I mean...
I don't know. She's not my favorite. She's kind of giving me the Jennifer Garner vibe.
Really? I know how much you hate Jennifer.
I don't hate Kate Middleton. I don't know a lot about her, but I just feel like she's like that goody two-shoes kind of person that I wouldn't like.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
But if she's going through something awful, that is horrible.
Or maybe she's dead.
I don't think she's dead, Heather.
If she's dead, they'd be so easy to cover it up.
How would we not know that someone's dead? Like, how are we not going to know that in today's media?
Have you seen that?
The fact that she's missing to me is crazy.
Have you seen the cast?
That no one's given a statement on that she's safe. That is odd to me. I don't know if they have or not, but...
No, as far as I know, they haven't said anything about it. So if anyone else, any of you all have any insight on for us, we'd
let
love
us
to
know. Where is Kate?
Yeah, where is Kate Middleton? What is she doing? Is she dead? Did she get a BBL? Is she going through something terrible? We need to know. But if she is dead, they would easily have a way to cover it up. And I feel like they would get away with it, and they could find a lookalike, and nobody would ever know.
This is nuts. Heather, this is giving like Avril Lavigne's been dead for 13
money
years.
talk. Wasn't they talked about something with the old queen where like something happened with her and like someone else. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this, and we'll probably update you next week on this. But there was a weird conspiracy about how like someone killed her, so like the next person in line could take the throne.
With Princess Di?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard the Princess Di conspiracies.
So it's like
that like someone crashed her car in the tunnel on purpose.
Yes. So it's like they have
because
so
she was dating like somebody, I don't know the details, but she was dating someone that the royal family didn't like.
Yeah, probably someone that was more seen as a commoner and not of royalty.
I don't know if it was a commoner. I think he was just of a different race, and they didn't like that. I think he was still really rich and well off, but I don't know all the details on that either.
Well, that's the whole thing with Prince William's brother too. Is his wife?
He dated the commoner.
He dated a commoner, like
who was a different
not
race.
Royalty or a different race. You know, like. She wasn't brought up really rich and like living in a castle.
Yeah, the Meghan Markle stuff is crazy too. I did sit through and watch that documentary, and a lot of people hate Meghan Markle too. She don't bother me that much.
I mean, we don't live over there.
My roommate loves the Suits show too, and I know she's on that. So yeah, that's how she was like a celebrity here before she married him.
Oh.
Yeah. So see, look, we don't know enough.
We don't know enough. We're gonna do some research. We're gonna get back on. We'll get back to you on this because I'm definitely sure within the week we're gonna have information about Kate Middleton.
I hope so.
I do too.
That's really, really crazy that this day and age we literally don't know where somebody is.
And it's not.
But I mean, where is Wendy Williams? We didn't know where she was either. She was missing for a couple months, years. People didn't know where she was.
I mean, that's the thing is, it's not like it's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple months since she hasn't been seen or heard from.
It's so weird.
Did she go on a private island? She's living her best life, hiding away.
We don't know. I mean, but you would think she would just make a statement. Like, today when people even get off of Instagram and stuff, they make, like, a statement. Like, they're like I'm taking a break. Like, people usually do that.
Well, I don't know if you keep up with Vanderpump Rules, but the whole Raquel and Tom Sandoval thing, like, Raquel got off Instagram and she, like, made a statement saying, like, I'm taking time away from the internet. Like, this whole situation has just been too much for me, you know, and if you keep up with the show, I've been living this show since college. Like, I love Vanderpump Rules, and it's the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. But this whole Scandival thing, and if you watch it, Ariana is making people pick sides. They're like, it's him or me, and if you're friends with him, you can't be friends with me.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like splitting up the group, and I saw a little post on Instagram saying like Ariana knew all of this and like created the whole Scandival thing. Like, she knew everything before.
Ooh.
So, I don't know where the truth lies, because obviously I'm not a part of that, but...
Listen, I don't even watch Vanderpump Rules, and I couldn't escape the
Scandival
scandal. The Tom Sandoval scandal.
Oh, man.
I even know about it, and I don't even watch it.
You gotta watch it. Look, now
I watched it a little bit. I watched it back when Stassi was like, it's my birthday!
Oh, God.
I watched, like, the first 2 seasons, but I've not kept up. It is so much.
No, you gotta keep up.
Oh, okay. I'll add it to my list for you.
It's funny to see how they change.
Yeah. Have you watched Love is Blind yet?
No, but
Heather!
I did see a TikTok that I was going to show you today, and it's it's like a picture of the blonde guy who, what's that? Is the girl's name Megan or?
Chelsea. And Jimmy.
So they had a picture of like what Jimmy looks like, and they said Jimmy looks like the little boy from The Incredibles, the bad guy kid.
Syndrome?
Yeah, he's a little kid.
Oh.
And then they said that Chelsea is the adult syndrome.
Oh my lord. See, the bullying for Love is Blind has gone too far. These are real people. I do feel bad for them, but it is kind of funny. I mean, that Love is Blind is so juicy. I cannot, like, at the time we're recording, the final episodes have not come out yet. There's like 1 or 2 left with the marriages and then the reunion.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't wait to see it all. You've got to catch up so we can talk about it when it wraps.
Yeah, I've seen the clips on TikTok of, like, of Jimmy and Chelsea, like, talking, and, you know, her saying, like, oh, yeah, people resemble, like, I've been resembled as Megan Fox, and everyone got so mad about it. They're like, she doesn't look anything like Megan Fox, and it's like, if you look at Megan Fox back when she was doing Transformers.
She resembles her in the eyes. I think where it's wrong is the chin.
It's like here to here. Like, this part of her face, she does resemble Megan Fox, old Megan Fox.
Yes.
Not new Megan
Not
Fox.
Instagram baddie, influencer, Botoxed Megan Fox.
She looks old, natural Megan Fox.
Yeah.
That's where she looks
and
like.
The chin is just not.
No. And he said he he had a lookalike.
Yeah,
too.
but he didn't say it on the show, so his never got exposed. But when Chelsea did an interview with some network, she said, "Well, this got cut out. He said he looks like blank, 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 some football player. I have no idea who he is, or some. It might be basketball. I don't even know, but because I don't do sports ball. But literally, he said he looked like somebody who he does not look like either. But Netflix edited it out." So she's getting all the hate for saying her look-alike, and then people are like, it's not even the point of Love is Blind. You're not supposed to, give examples of who you look like.
You're not, because, I mean, you can say, oh, I have blonde hair, I have brown eyes. That's all that you need to know. The whole point of Love is Blind is to find love.
Yeah, I don't even think you should even say that.
It's just only based on
your
connection.
personality. It's supposed to be personality-based, so...
I try to get into it, but the whole thing...
Is it hard for you to watch?
It's not that it's hard. It's the fact that they show so much of them being in the cubes.
Oh, that's the first, 3 episodes.
Yeah. They just spend so
Fast
much
forward
time.
through that and watch the rest. It's way entertaining.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's way more entertaining.
I like watching when the girls come back together and they talk about the guys. Like, one girl's like, oh, I like that guy, too. And they're like, we'll see who's the better woman in the end.
Yeah, that's how... There's always love triangles on the show. It's very intense.
Yeah,
I love it.
I need to watch.
I think it'd be something good for you and Dusty to watch together, honestly, because then you guys can talk about it. It's just a good show for conversation too.
He'll get into it because I got him into Gossip Girl and he hates watching it.
No way!
But
That's one of our faves together.
Yes, I'll occasionally put it on, and he's like, "Wait, what is Chuck Bass doing?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, Blair." And then he goes, "Well, who's Serena dating now?" And I was like, "Yeah, nobody can keep up, honestly."
It's a lot.
This episode of Too Delulu is brought to you by Eargasm Earplugs. Eargasm solved the problem that foam earplugs had, which was muffling the sound of your music at music festivals and concerts. You can actually hear the music still while protecting your ears when you use Eargasm's high-fidelity earplugs. They are an awesome company that I'm so happy is sponsoring us. You can find them on their website, eargasm.com, and you can save 15% at checkout using code Too Delulu. Again, that's code TOODELULU at checkout to save 15% at Eargasm Earplugs so you can protect your ears, still hear the sound of the music that you love, and it's just altogether an amazing product. Check it out, guys.
So, we're going to end today's episode
With the game.
And this week, I'm the game master. I'm taking the reins.
Passing the crown.
I'm taking the reins. So we're going to play Is It Delulu, and it's mostly going to be Is It Delulu X edition, but with maybe one other that's not about an X, okay?
Yes.
All right, so Is It Delulu? And please, Delulas, give us your commentary, too. Is it Delulu to text your ex if you need help with something, like a flat tire or something like something went wrong in your house that, traditionally a man would help with, and you don't have any other men in your life, so would it be Delulu to text your ex to be like, my water heater broke, can you come over? I have a flat tire, I need help. Is it Delulu?
Yes, I would never think of texting an ex and saying, help me, please. I either figure it out, or I call someone else that knows how, or I call, a handyman, or whatever it may be. I would never think to text, an ex and be like, help me, please, I'm, stuck. I don't think, actually, I feel like I have had a friend that has, texted their ex before and been like, something went wrong in the house. Can you come help me fix it or something?
Yeah, I had my ex-boyfriend, when we had taken a break for a week, and I, as I was in the process of kind of breaking up with him, and I drove an hour away from where we lived, and then I texted him when my car broke down, and I was like, I know we're on a break, but I need your help. And he came, and then we got back together after.
You're like, this man can fix anything.
Yeah.
Must go.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, is it Delulu to be texting your ex while you're in a new current relationship about anything?
Yes. I think depending on where it left off for some people, depending on how far the relationship was, we have a friend that, she was engaged and she got out of that, wouldn't she have to have texted her ex for...
Yeah, about housing things or bills or things like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff I totally see, being okay, but definitely I would try to get that all done before you hop into a new relationship. I don't think many people are getting out of a relationship and then like a month later they have a new man.
Yeah, and it also depends on the comfortability of your partner with your ex too. Like if you're like, hey, this was my ex from high school, we're still friends. Like, are you cool with me being his friend still or something like that? That's different from like someone who was your last relationship.
Oh, I just thought of one. Is it Delulu to have your ex meet your current boyfriend?
Oh, that's tricky. I don't know. All these depend on the situation, but like obviously, I think that's a little crazy. Unless they're your friend, like Jake and Tara, Jake Weber and Tara Yummy. But they're still friends, and it's very controversial that they are still friends.
I think if you leave it on a good break, yes, but like I would never personally like bring my ex around my current boyfriend. It's not something I would do. I wouldn't be like, hey, you should come meet us here and like hang out with us. That's crazy. That's
okay.
Delulu.
Is it? Oh wait, I have more. Is it Delulu to drunk text your ex, single or in a relationship?
I think if you're single, a lot of people always do the drunk text to their ex because you know if you're single and you're feeling lonely and like you just recently broke up with them, you're like, man, I'm feeling lonely. I need someone around. It's so easy to just drunk text your ex. And if they respond nasty or whatever, and then the next morning you open it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I was drunk. It's like the easiest way to recover.
The worst.
But then if they do come over and then you wake up and you go, huh, why are you here?
Why are you here? Why would they be over?
Why are you over here? Why did I do this? And then that whole spiral thing, you're like, well, could it work again? And you're like, no.
No. All right. Now, this one has nothing to do with an ex, but is it Delulu to think that there's signs from the universe that you should break up? For example, say something bad happened to you on the way to a date. You got a flat tire, you got a minor fender bender. Is that Delulu to think the universe is telling you maybe you should not be with this person?
No, because the universe speaks to us in many ways, so you should probably be listening to the universe. So if you got in a minor fender bender, that's the universe saying, you shouldn't be going on this date right now.
Yeah, like Miss Risa Tisa, when she was on the way to her first date with the guy who was basically a giant catfish, she had car problems. And
that was the universe telling her, girl, this isn't the place to be going.
Mm-hmm. But that was fun.
That was. I like that game. We're going to have to find, like, more, like, Too Delulu things on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think I like doing the additions. Like, is it Delulu X edition? Is it Delulu relationship edition? Is it Delulu friendship edition?
Ooh. Because, you know, I'm pretty Delulu in my relationships. So
yeah.
There's plenty of things that I can spiral off of.
Definitely. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming. This was a great episode. I definitely, when we sat down today and I was looking at all of our topics, I was like, okay, this is just a bunch of random nonsense, but it's so crazy how it always just pieces together and it just flows for us.
Yeah, I love it.
We just make it go.
We are Delulu Queens. And you are our Delulas. Thank you so much for listening today. Be sure to interact with us, tell us your thoughts. Usually after the episode, I post on the Instagram story at Too Delulu Pod things that we talked about in this week's episode. I would like to do some honorable mentions. I asked people who their celebrity icks were on the story. We got the girl Joey King who plays Gypsy Rose in the Act.
Oh, no.
Someone does not like Miss Joey King. Someone does not like Matt Rife, and that was a good one. And then also we had just a celebrity ick in general of celebrities posting too much to Snapchat and like making really long Snapchat stories like Austin McBroom, Khloe Kardashian, Heidi Montag. So yeah, we had some good interaction. So thank you guys for giving us your input on those.
Please keep doing it because we love hearing what you guys have to say and giving us more ideas and stuff. And I love recapping.
Yeah.
People send in.
It's fun how it's all connecting.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you guys. Remember to follow us at Too Delulu Pod on Instagram and TikTok. You can send us an email like we got from our viewer this week at toodelulu4u@gmail.com. And we'll be back next week with episode 10.
Yes.
Woo!
Woo!